All right, this is Do It with Daniel and our coach, T Mango from the RawBrahs.
I'm pissed.
He's our coffee coach. So I'm going to try to teach her how to make the perfect cup of coffee. And T Mango is going to coach me along in case I make any mistakes.
Not in a nice way.
He's angry today.
So one of the essentials is to have freshly brewed or freshly roasted and freshly ground coffee. So there's less oxidation, higher amounts of B vitamins and minerals. And not only do you get the caffeine buzz, but that caffeine is just a vehicle to transfer all those good vitamins and minerals to your body to boost your metabolism and make your day a great day. Is that right?
Daniel's right. If you're still buying ground coffee, let's just say you're nobody.
So now what we're going to use in this process is the Aeropress, recommended by Tim Ferris. Thank you, Tim Ferris. He's one of our heroes. And this is what it kind of looks like. So to start out with, we're going to basically fill our water. Let's talk about the essentials. Beyond the good beans is good water. So I filled this thing right here with spring water. So to start it out, I'm going to start freshly heating my spring water. That is cooked water. Now, for the amounts, Timothy, while I talk about the amounts, why don't you tell them why 1,000 Faces? Why are we using this brand of coffee? Okay, don't worry, they're not paying us. We've tried to get them to pay us before and they wouldn't.
For all you amateurs out there, there is no, if you live in the United States of America, most likely there is no such thing as local coffee, okay? We are not growing coffee here in the United States. What you can do local is support your roaster. 1,000 Faces is a local roaster who don't just roast light, dark to medium. They roast to certain degrees for where the bean is from. So let's say the bean is from Costa Rica. Well, they have a certain temperature that they roast that specific bean at, okay? So they're very strategic with their roasting methods.
So now in the meantime that my water is heating up to boiling temperature, I'm going to grind my beans, freshly ground. These are freshly roasted as he just went through, now freshly ground. And this is how that works. You get yourself a grinder, just grind them right here on the spot. While I'm grinding my beans, Diana is going to cut us a filter, because this comes with filters, but they're white filters, and sometimes when you're running, as I was saying, these are the filters that come with the Aeropress, and they're kind of white papered, so it basically means they're probably bleached. And when you heat hot water over bleached paper, you might get some bleach in there. That's more for you dogmatic coffee elitists such as myself. So in order to prevent that, this time, most of the time I use these because I'm just trying to do the best I can for the camera. We're going to get our cutter, Diana, our brown-eyed beauty.
Cut. That's what I do. I do all the brown-eyed stuff in this house.
So she's going to cut the perfect circle of this bamboo filter. These are coffee bamboo filters. Now, if I was going to be the best elitist I could be, I'd probably search some like natural paper bamboo flavors, also known as filters.
Daniel's right. For all of you that still want to drink bleach, I got something for you. It's in my laundry room.
So, now that she's cut the perfect circle, now we're going to the Aeropress directions here. The first time Timothy did the Aeropress, he was a little lost, didn't work out so well, so we're going to prevent you from making a mistake. So this is the thing right here, you just screw off the bottom right here.
Big mistake, you never big mistake, you never call the coach out in front of the camera.
So I took off the thing, we're going to place the filter right there, that's where it's going to be filtered.
Perfect.
Screw it back on, bam. You're going to do your first original brew over an easy pour cup like this, such as this self right here. Bam, right there. We got the ground coffee beans right here. These are freshly ground, and I didn't do them too finely ground. Why didn't I do them too finely ground?
Well, if you grind them too fine, it's going to be too condensed, and the Aeropress is not going to function properly. So as a rule of thumb, the less coffee that you're making, the finer you can grind it. If you're making coffee for several people, you have to grind it a little more coarse.
And here's my handy dandy funnel that helps me funnel the coffee beans into the tube. See that? Now, what is that? That's freshly ground, freshly roasted, just fresh, probably top quality coffee on earth right there. Bam. Now I got my water's hot. I pour it into here, just like this. And I'll let that sit for about 30 seconds. Now in the meantime, with these 30 seconds, let's talk about how drinking coffee has changed our lives. For me, all positive.
And you may have heard us talk a lot about coffee and beer in our videos. Well, let me tell you something. Beer is good for coming up with ideas. Coffee is good for executing the ideas.
And Diana, how about you?
All positive.
Do they get skin like that if they drink coffee?
Yes. This is due to coffee.
No, I think coffee is one of those things that might be kind of like it's specific to your genetics and your background and your tolerance and your ability to handle a drug-like substance. This is a medicine. I wouldn't recommend this like it's water.
Absolutely, plant medicine.
All right, now you'll see why this is called an Aeropress. Can you get that, Nathaniel? See that? See how the air is actually pressing it down?
Kind of hard to see.
Oh. If you do this right here, it'll help focus. See that? But anyways, the air is pressing it down, and this is the trick. You don't want to press it all the way down the first time. This is not a one type of drip family here. We like to do double drips and sometimes triple drips, also known as tripping. So, now we got this here, right here, see this? And now we need a cup of coffee. This is what we're going to be drinking our coffee out of. So now we put the used beans once over the new empty cup of coffee, get our once pressed Aeropress, and we're going to double drip it now.
Yeah, this is something that you're not going to find in the manual when you buy your Aeropress.
See how light that coffee is right there? We haven't extracted the most out of the beans yet. That almost just looks like muddy water. What we're looking for is mud. Bam. And because the Aeropress is more advertised as like an espresso maker, we like to have a little more volume to our coffee, so we can add even a little bit more water to it, just so we get a little more like 6 to 7 to 8 ounces instead of just 4. We'll let that sit for a minute, and then we'll press it one more time, and that'll be the double drip perfection.
Drinking coffee here is not just drinking coffee, it's science.
Exactly.
Like, crazy.
Just like a lot of things that we do. We just don't do them, up here. We investigate them wholeheartedly, and we figure out how and why it's affecting us.
Alright, so the coffee's been in there for about a minute, and now we're going to finally do our final press, and this time we're going all the way down. The reason you don't want to go all the way down the first time is because it can kind of mess the filter up. It's going to stick to the filter. So bam! Bam!
Alright, and
Really
since I am
press
the
it.
coach here, that was totally unnecessary. You do not need to press it that hard.
Why not?
I was afraid the mug was just going to collapse under that.
That's probably true. If you had a fragile mug, that could be dangerous.
Let me tell you one thing I learned in life. If you never force anything. If you have to force it, you're not doing it right. And that applies to everything.
Sometimes you need to do that.
You need to force it.
Yes.
Okay.
Violence can work sometimes.
What can?
Violence.
Mom?
Violence.
Oh, violence.
I know, I couldn't tell if she said balance or violence. So now we got this. I'm going to teach you how to clean this off, but before we do that, in case you do like cream, maybe Nathaniel and Timothy should switch the camera positions real quick.
Okay.
Let's bring the milkman in for this one.
Glasses off.
I'm going to use a splash of cream. So should I just go get it? Where should I get the cream? In those little McDonald's packs, Nathaniel?
Cream?
Yeah.
Well, today is the first time I ever did this. I got my raw whole milk straight from the farmer. I drive an hour to get it. And it's non-homogenized milk, meaning the cream separates to the top. And I got like one of those little bulbs, you know, those little turkey bulbs moms squeeze on turkeys on Thanksgiving.
Turkey baster.
Turkey baster. And I got it, and I just sucked the cream right off the top. Put it in another gallon, and so it was about a quart of cream, a lot of cream in there. And then I mixed the rest of the milk with it. Not the rest, but half of the rest of the milk. So it was, I made my own half and half, and that's what this is. See, half and half for coffee only.
And this is what's left, the skim milk.
Yes, skim milk. You don't want that unless you're trying to be a loser.
And then what do you do with this? Why is this here?
This is my dad. He's been buying half and half organic milk from the store, and that just made me so sick I had to make my own.
Now, in case someone can't go through the process of turkey basting raw whole milk, unhomogenized, and driving out of the farm, would this be a good alternative?
If you're trying to live a mediocre life, it would be.
Okay. Now, what are they trying? Why would they not? What's wrong with this milk? Just curious.
Well, this isn't quite as bad as regular milk that you might buy in the store because it's half cream, and cream is not quite as bad as milk, pasteurized milk. But buying store-bought milk from the store is just a silly idea.
I like how they advertise ultra pasteurized.
Ultra pasteurized. They say that like it's a good thing.
What were you gonna say?
I was just gonna say I love how everyone in this family put labels on everything.
Because, well, that's very critical, Diane, because if someone were to use this for, like, regular milk, that's when I get really angry.
We don't want
So this cup of coffee is for you. Well, cheers, guys, and thanks for tuning in with us for Coffee Talk. If you have a better way of making coffee, let us know. I do know French press is probably preferred by a lot of people, but for people that might be prone to high cholesterol, such as myself, you know, just is genetically prone to that, I hear drinking French press and drinking the beans can actually raise your cholesterol. So I'm experimenting with some filtered coffee today.
Your body looks great. Your body looks best I've ever seen in a while. If you want to say anything.
If I want to say anything?
Yeah, if you want to do anything crazy.
Well, I did
call to action.
Oh, talk about your body a little bit. Tell them how you achieve results.
Well, I was on the mad cycle for a solid year on drinking about a gallon of milk a day, and now I'm just starting to cut now. So I think I've gained some good muscle, and now I'll be cutting, and yeah, I'll be hopefully getting a little bit.
How many steroids do you take?
Steroids?
You know, people accuse you of that, so I figured we could touch on that.
I don't take steroids, although I almost was able to be prescribed steroids because my testosterone was so low as a raw vegan. But that's a true story for Daniel.
Yeah, I did. But a couple pieces of fish later, I no longer need that prescription. Let me show you how to clean this off. Here, can you give me a baggie? Open this baggie. So basically, now that you're done with the coffee, you want to clean it up. You just unscrew that top, and then you kind of pop, and there goes all the beans. And that's all you clean it right there.
I wasn't expecting that.
Daniel was mentioning the idea about a French press earlier, and I think that this device is superior in almost every way to a French press. So, yeah, let us know if you have a better way. But Nathaniel, while you're here talking about yourself, I'll emphasize that this kid has control of his weight. I've heard of, you know, weight loss coaches or stuff like that, but whether you're trying to gain weight, lose weight, or keep the same weight you have, gain muscle, trying to lose fat, gain fat, lose muscle, this kid knows how to control his weight, and he'll help you control yours too.
He's a weight control coach.
Especially if you're trying to gain weight. I spent a long time not being able to gain weight, and I finally figured out how. So if you have any questions,
that's right. That's right.
Leave you.
Well, why don't we leave them with the option to go to www.com, RawBrahs.com. RawBrahs.com. Well, I actually do some consultations on there. That's more about like fitness hacking. Nathaniel can maybe start doing some weight control.
Yeah.
Weight control.
If you're trying to lose weight or gain weight, call this guy.
And if you need some coffee coaching, call this guy.
I'll coach you on coffee.
And if you need to learn how to pick up that girl behind the camera, call this guy.
Yeah. And if you want to learn how to ruin their relationship, call me. I'm going to do it.
Thanks for tuning in. See you next time.